Looking for the ultimate Porter Ranch home with jaw-dropping views and luxury upgrades at every turn? This is the Porter Ranch home tour you've been waiting for. Perched in the prestigious Westcliffe community, 20326 Liverpool Way offers panoramic vistas from sunrise to city lights. If you've been searching for a Porter Ranch home for sale that checks every box, stay tuned. This one's gonna blow you away. So on today's tour, we're in the city of Porter Ranch, California, in the highly coveted community of Westcliffe. So if you're not familiar with Westcliffe, Westcliffe is a community built by Toll Brothers, and this planned unit development, they sold their last new construction home in 2024. So if you want to get into this community, you have to buy resale. So make sure you stay tuned at the end of the video, and I'm going to explain to you why buying something resale here in Westcliffe might be a better option than buying new construction with other Toll Brother communities. We'll get into that at the end of the video. All right, so we're in Porter Ranch. So Porter Ranch is located about 30 miles north of downtown Los Angeles, and we're located off the 118 freeway. Why are so many people moving out to Porter Ranch? That's because this city has so much to offer. Whether it be the Vineyard Shopping Center, which offers fine dining and shopping, including an AMC movie theater and a Whole Foods market that even has its own bar inside. Plus, you have right across the street, you have every Sunday a farmer's market where you can stock up on all of your produce, as well as find so many different treats and crafts to stock up during the week. And of course, you have one of the best parks in Los Angeles County here in Porter Ranch, the Jane and Bert Bachman Park. So the home that we're looking at today is part of the Palisades collection. So it's 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, 4,618 square feet, a 9,672 square foot lot, and built in 2021. So looking at the front of the house here on the exterior, this is the Chester Hill floor plan. And on the exterior, you have the Italianate facade, right? Giving you that Mediterranean feel and vibe, almost like a Mediterranean villa that you might find in Italy. And then the customization that we're gonna show you throughout this house is incredible, because remember, this house is delivered to the homeowner with nothing in front and the back. And so this homeowner spent a ton on luxury upgrades to make this home a masterpiece, starting with these beautiful customized double doors to let us inside to the interior. Inside the double doors, the first thing that I wanted to show you is this grand double volume foyer with this dome ceiling on top. Look how high those ceilings are right there. And that's the first thing that you notice right when you come into this home, as well as you immediately see what an expansive, incredible view of the San Fernando Valley. Now, obviously, we're gonna spend a lot of time in the backyard when we get to that point, but wanted to start you off with the rooms downstairs. So off to your left, now it'll be our right because we turned around here, you are going to see the first bedroom. This home again has 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, and over 4,600 square feet of living space. So they converted this into a learning area for their child, right? So especially like, let's say your child's homeschooled, this would be perfect, right? This is a great space, a homework area. You know, you could use it as a great playroom. Obviously, you could use it as a guest room, which a lot of people have, but they have it set up as an educational area. And then you have your private bath attached. So you have your tile flooring in there, right? And then of course you have your porch countertop with your brown colored vanity in there. And then this has your shower enclosure. So this is how the builder delivered it to the homeowner. This is the tiling inside the shower enclosure. So now we're gonna exit this bedroom downstairs, and then we're gonna come over here, over to our right. there's going to be another room. And this room is that half bathroom, right? So when you have friends and family over downstairs, this is the bathroom that they are going to utilize, right? So this is the half bathroom. Again, the same flooring as the other bathroom that you saw there. And then again, you have your sink as part of this half bathroom. All right, so exiting there, now we've seen one bedroom and the half bathroom. So we've seen a total of one bedroom and 1.5 baths. And so now we're going to show you the rest of this downstairs living area. And so the first room that you're going to see right here, I would call it more of a flex room, but when Toll Brothers was selling homes back in the 2021 through about 2024, the flex room concept hadn't really taken off as of yet. And so a lot of people were kind of using this as their formal dining area, but to be honest, this really makes more sense because I think you're a little too far away from the kitchen. Me personally, I would use it like how they have it set up. I would use it as my office, right? This would be the perfect space for that if you needed an office. Because as we'll see momentarily, you're gonna have this large open dining space adjacent to the kitchen, and that makes a lot more sense. So now we're entering into the great room, and the first thing that comes to mind when I look at this room is just the amount of natural light that pours into this room, whether it be the living room, the dining room area, or the kitchen. And so that's why you have these really nice light colors taking place in here. So this flooring here, this is tile flooring. This is the flooring that the builder delivered with the home, right? So this was not upgraded by the homeowners. And then because you have all this natural light pouring in, right? You have this light gray bluish hues on your counter right here, this large, massive island right here, and you have your quartz countertop. And then notice really right here, look at the grains here in this island countertop right here, that it's just a little bit of contrast from what you have on the flooring itself. So it kind of sets up really nicely. Because you have all this natural light pouring in, I don't think you really need heavy color tones. And then of course, obviously you have your cabinet storage as well in your island. And then you have stainless steel appliances, whether it be your gas cooktop with your stainless steel hood above that, and then your island counter, right? Your island is going to have this stainless steel sink, all right? And so one thing that I always like to point out to you on these Toll Brothers homes, and I think it's probably one of the best upgrades that you can invest in, are the cabinets that go all the way to the top of the ceiling. Now, if you were to buy new construction at pretty much any Toll Brothers home these days, that's about a $15,000 to $20,000 upgrade. So I know because our clients usually elect to go for that upgrade, and it's one that I highly recommend when it comes to resale value. It's something that a lot of buyers request to have. All right, so on the other side, we're gonna go back over here for a moment, right? You're gonna see the stainless steel refrigerator. This was not something that was provided by Toll Brothers, right? So they elected to have an upgraded refrigerator, and it's pretty cool. I'm gonna show you right here. Take a look at this, right? Voila. And you have two doors, separate doors for the refrigerator, and then you have two for the freezer right down below. Adjacent to that, you're gonna have your KitchenAid, double oven, and your built-in microwave. And then on your kitchen island, right, you have plenty of seats right here to be able to entertain, use it as a prep area. So if you want to entertain with a glass of wine, some appetizers before the main meal, this is perfect. And you know what? Not every meal is going to be at the formal dining table. So this is a great space. And then over to the left, this is your formal dining area. And this formal dining area is perfect because you have all the light, natural light, coming in to enjoy with any meal that you choose to do so. So imagine this area during twilight hours, being able to see the twinkle of the city lights right here as you be able to enjoy a meal. And then finally, in that corner over there, because they were able to extend it right? So you have this little niche right here that's perfect as a mini work area. So, you know, just perfect, right? So maybe you just need to do a few things, maybe not necessarily work related, but if you want to just sit down and use it, it works perfectly. All right, and so of course, even from here, you can see the gorgeous views of the San Fernando Valley. And today is just a super clear day. So we really lucked out in being able to show you and showcase what this view offers to you. So I like what they did here. And this is a great way to kind of break up the space. Otherwise, you're just gonna have a lot of empty space in the middle here. And I like how they kind of made this just like a sitting area. So this is a great idea to kind of maximize your space. Now this is a very large room with very high ceilings to begin with, but it's a great opportunity to be able to just allow people to sit and relax, maybe after a big meal, right before heading over to the living room. Now in the living room over here, you're gonna see the custom fireplace. That was an upgrade from Toll Brothers. And then you see the very large crown moldings, all the LED lighting above. And like we always talk about in the new construction home tours, that most of the people usually hang up their big screen TV above the fireplace, and that's no different here. And then you got the built-in cabinetry to the left and the right for storage here in your living room. Hey guys, Scott Himmelstein with the Scott Himmelstein Group. Hope you're enjoying this home tour so far. All right, so one of the things that I really like to do with our buyers is to kind of help them understand where they're gonna get their most bang for their buck. So if you're buying actual new construction from the builder, I really like to kind of help walk our clients through what money they should spend their upgrades on. Should it be something like the cabinetry that we showed you, goes all the way to the top, maybe a floating staircase, be able to stretch their resources to be able to, maybe because you have a situation where you maybe 10 to 15 years down the line, you might have to sell the home and you want to put in all the upgrades that, you know, obviously you want to enjoy right now, but at the same time, you're going to get your money back on down the road. And for a house like this that's already resale, right, you want to have a really good idea that, you know, what you're buying right now, the price that you're buying it for right now, that has a lot of the upgrades. And then if you decide that you're going to customize the house even more, what are you going to get your money back on that? Like what type of return are you going to get on that? Then look, at the end of the day, whatever upgrades you decide to do, it's really going to be for you. I don't think the number one reason for doing upgrades into a house should be solely just for resale, because you as the homeowner have to be the one enjoying the upgrades. But what we really like to help our clients with, whether it be buyers with new construction or resale, is to help them understand, like, okay, you want to put in a new type of flooring, you want to upgrade a bathroom, you want to upgrade a kitchen. Obviously, that's not something you really have to do here when it comes to especially the kitchen, but maybe you want to do that. So we kind of help them understand what the process would be to upgrade it and if those numbers actually make sense for you as the home buyer. All right, let's get back to the home tour. Two more things I wanted to showcase downstairs. So the first one is the obvious one, is that this kitchen does have a very large walk-in pantry. And I can tell you from experience with someone with kids that you can never have a pantry large enough. So it's great that you can be able to store everything that you need. And this is a very large space. So in addition, this is something I've been looking forward to showing you, is come into this room over here. So this floor plan originally basically had a 3-car garage, right? And so they converted the tandem portion of it and they basically made this into a mudroom. I think it's really smart. Obviously, your washer and dryer are here, right here inside. You got your sink. You got your tankless water heater. You got space for an extra refrigerator and freezer here in this room. This is a great drop zone. I think that's what most builders usually call it now, is to have this drop zone area. So, you know, especially in the winter months when it's raining or your kids, you know, got mud on their shoes, right? This is a great room to have. And you still have a really large 2-car garage. So this is a great space to utilize. This space in this fashion, I think, really appeals to a lot of home buyers. I absolutely love this staircase. So yes, it's not a spiral, it's not a floating staircase, but look how wide it is. And I really like it a lot. So they have the carpeting here on this staircase, which is great, especially if you have animals or small kids. I think that's a really smart move. And then when you come off the staircase right here, you're gonna have this large loft area. So this is really smart. Again, this is an extra, essentially family room, den. You can use it as a workspace. So many different possibilities up here. So maybe you have adults upstairs, kids downstairs, or vice versa. And it allows you to be able to maximize your space. And then I do want to show you this. This is really cool here. My kids would love this. I love this chair. I want to know what you guys think about this chair. I really dig it, and I think it's pretty cool, and they're able to blend it with the rug itself. Let's make our way over to the first bedroom upstairs. Now downstairs, you may recall that there was one bedroom downstairs with its own bathroom attached. That is the same here in this first bedroom. It also has its own bathroom attached. And then you have access to a balcony that overlooks the front of the home. So that is your first bedroom upstairs. And as we walk and see some of the other bedrooms upstairs, wanted to let you know when it comes to schools, this home is served K through 8th by the Porter Ranch Community School, highly rated, typically between 9 and 10 on gradeschools.org. And then if you're looking for high school, this one is served by Chatsworth High School, not too far away. So that's always a big question when it comes to schools, is what schools is it served by. Now, for the homeowners association dues, like obviously like anywhere else, that's always changing, but you do have two. So the main one is $405 a month. Obviously, you have a 24-hour guard-gated community that we're talking about here with security. One of the advantages of this community is the fact that there's no mellow roofs. Now, if you go up into northern LA County, Castaic, Valencia, Canyon Country, Lancaster, you're gonna see a lot of places that have mellow roofs. So your property tax rate, a lot of times will be 1.75, 1.85, 1.95. You're gonna see really high property tax rates. So you don't have that here. So that's one of the advantages of being in this community here in LA County. It's something that people really like a lot. I did wanna show you this vantage point. So remember, we were looking up when we came into the home, and then I like how you're able to have this area here where you have the staircase across the way, but you have this circular area where we're standing at right now to give you the full perspective of the space of this home. So you do have a laundry room upstairs here in this room. It does have a sink with cabinetry as well as a quartz countertop. So that's where your laundry hookups are going to be upstairs. And then you might recall that you actually saw a washer and dryer downstairs as well. So because of how that's situated, so it's perfect for, you know, maybe you have guests or someone living downstairs, or, you know, certain things that you need to wash where you don't have to have all of your daily clothes washed upstairs. So that's kind of a really neat feature. So this takes us now, as we kind of wrapped around back upstairs to the staircase where we entered the upstairs level. Now we are in the primary suite. And this is where you really get to enjoy some of these incredible views we were talking about in vistas of the San Fernando Valley. So again, because you have all this natural light coming in, you have the very light colored flooring right here, and they use a lot of white, right? Whether it be the plantation shutters right here, right? The cabinetry and furniture pieces, right? But they did it very smartly, because look at the nightstands that they use, for example, and the color of the bed, right? Itself, that it goes perfectly with the flooring that you have in this room. Okay, so we're gonna look at a couple things in here. So this is your primary bathroom right here. And they did something really neat we're gonna show you before we leave this space. So of course you have your soaking tub in the middle, you have dual vanities, and I like again how you have the darker cabinetry with the lighter white quartz countertop with just a little bit of gray in them, nothing too strong, allows you to have that darker cabinetry. And then of course you have your shower enclosure, this huge shower enclosure here with a sitting bench, right? You have your hand sprayer, your overhead shower head right here. And this is a very large space. On the bottom of your shower enclosure, you have your hexagonal tiles right here in that space. Okay, so a couple things. First, your walk-in closet. So this is a situation where, again, you know, you can customize this to how you like it. We've showcased a lot of customization when it comes to Toll Brothers over the years, but I don't think this is done by the builder, but I do like how the fact of how they have it situated, and people like the built-ins, and especially having this chest of drawers right here in the middle of your walk-in closet. So very well done, and very well and tastefully done in this walk-in closet. There are view homes, and then there are view homes. Check out this view. Imagine waking up every morning, sitting here enjoying your coffee, kind of just watching the world go by. This is one of the best vantage points in the entire community. If you are looking for a killer view in Los Angeles County, this is where you want to be at. So because you're close to Shepherd of the Hills Church, right, and so many other different areas, and the reason why I bring up Shepherd of the Hills Church is because every July 4th, right, this is where you can see one of the best fireworks shows in all of Los Angeles County. So as we walk into the primary bathroom again, I wanted to point this out to you, and I'd love to know in the comments below what you think about this door. Because normally this would just be drywall. There would not be a door here. But the homeowner wanted to have access to their son's bedroom, so they built this door, right? And so obviously you can still lock the door from the inside, but they customized it so basically that they would be able to access their son's bedroom. And I thought that was a really brilliant idea, right? So that is something you can do, and that's something we can kind of help you design if that's something that you'd like to do. And then of course, this bedroom also has its own bathroom. So just like the other bedrooms. So all of the bedrooms have their own bathroom attached to the actual individual bedroom. All right, let's get to what you guys have been waiting for, and that is the backyard. Let's go outside. Check out this, really cool. Everybody loves, the very in vogue right now, the stackable doors, 20-foot stackable doors to really give you that indoor, outdoor, living room combo. Take a look. All right, so we're gonna go outside right now, okay? And this right here is underneath that primary deck, that overlook suite, right? And so that is usually a custom upgrade. That doesn't come with the house. And then I like how they were able to create this incredible outdoor kitchen right here. Take a look at this. You got your refrigerator, you got your barbecue grill right here, your sink. So you're really able to do some serious entertaining. I know I would live out here. And because of the weather that we get here in Southern California, you know, you could spend almost the majority of the year entertaining out here. And speaking of entertaining, right? You got your artificial grass out here outside, and then take a look at this pool. So this pool is absolutely perfect for those warm summer days, right? And then you got your spa, right? And it's just the perfect amount of length, right? You know, unless you're gonna be swimming laps like Michael Phelps, right? You don't need a massive pool, and you wanna just be able to cool down, right? And so this is a great place to kind of get some sun, enjoy the views of the San Fernando Valley, and you can do it all right here in this backyard. But I'll tell you one thing that I really need to be incorporating into my backyard, and that is the outdoor shower. I absolutely love this. And plus they even have a hand sprayer, right? So now you've gotten out of the water, right? You don't want to have that chlorine feel on you. And so, you know, especially if you have small kids, you can wash yourself down before going inside. So take a look at the tile pieces, how they're able to interconnect the artificial turf around it. So that's something that I really like, and it's great because it provides a wonderful walkway to the spa. So look over here, look at this glass, right? Because most of the homes usually in the backyard, that if they're not on the view side, they typically usually have a wrought iron fence, but all the homes on the view side, they have this wonderful glass to be able to maximize your ability to be able to see the views here in the backyard. So again, you can see where we were standing above earlier, right off your primary bedroom. And then here, now you can really fully understand the space that we were showcasing to you when we immediately came outside to the backyard. And this kind of gives you a full perspective of the backyard, right? Let me know what you think of this backyard. Is this a backyard that you can entertain in? Let me know. And then obviously this isn't something that the builder put in, so the homeowner had to invest in this. How spectacular are the views at this home? Is this a home that you could find yourself living in? All right, let's get to the point. You probably ask yourself, well, what does it take to be able to move into a home like this, right? So this is resale as opposed to new construction. And remember at the beginning of the video, I was going to tell you why this is probably a better deal than maybe actually buying new construction. And the reason being for that is while new construction is phenomenal, right? There's great ways to be able to customize the home. But take the nearby community, the last enclave of new homes being built here in 91326 in Puerto Ranch, the Rigid Bella Vista. Well, those start around 2.7 to 2.8. So by the time you put in your structural, design, and electrical upgrades, usually we find that our clients are probably putting in 15 to 20% of the sales price. And then you got to throw in what you got to be able to put in something like this, you know, in your front and your backyard, all that landscaping, right? That's a lot of money to be able to put in. So by the time, you know, for a home like that, you're easily looking, you know, anywhere from like 3.6 to 3.7 easily, you know, I would say at the very least, and probably even more depending on what type of upgrades you decide to do. So I think a home like this where everything's already been chosen for you and you can just move right in. Yeah, maybe you want to do a few upgrades to the bathrooms when it comes to tiles or something like that, but you don't have to, right? You can move right in. And the big things, those have already been done for you. So I think this actually provides a lot more value in many respects than buying a home that's actually brand new construction. So if you want more info on what it takes to buy a home such as this, reach out to me. Love to be a resource of information for you and walk you through, kind of show you the pros and cons of buying new construction as opposed to resale. Reach out to us. Love to be able to help you. My name's Scott Himmelstein with the Scott Himmelstein Group. Hope you enjoyed this home tour, and we'll see you on the next one.